Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. We have Mario Melchior, Jan Agerfjordtoft, Ian Dark, Shaka Hislop, myself, Kay Murray. And don't forget, you can send your questions in on Instagram right now. Wonderful five-a-side team today with all of our beautiful pictures there. And in fact, the first question tonight does come from Instagram.
Wait! Hold on a minute. Put that back up. That was too fast.
Who could
Put it
that
back up,
be?
Kay.
Too fast.
No,
Put that back up, Kay. I can't believe. Oh, man.
Okay, so the first question is, which of the ex-players on the panel would you have liked to interview on the sidelines post-match, Kay? And why is it Jan Agerfjordtoft? So I told the producer that I actually did stand on the terraces and watch Jan play. And I did have a picture from Borough's last game against Luton, Borough's last game at Ayresome Park. And yes, this was a picture we put out for the Extra Time.
That's pretty. That's not what we want to see. Never mind Ian Dark with his sunglasses and his mop of hair. That's not what we want to see.
A young Jan.
We don't want to see that either.
Okay. So 1995, final game at Ayresome Park. I was there with hair. With hair today, gone tomorrow. Anyway, we just gave you a quick view of it. I don't know if it's coming back up.
Come put it up, please!
Eat your heart out, Kevin.
Ah, boy.
Jan, did you see me that day up in the stands?
God. You couldn't miss her. You couldn't miss her, that's
So
for sure.
sweet.
Boy.
You started that game, Jan. You started that game.
I remember that game very in my head because it was a big day, Ayresome Park, a legendary stadium, and then we go into Riverside. And I do remember now, so many years after, it annoys me because I scored a second goal at Riverside Stadium, the Buzz Aldrin goal. Craig Hignett scored the first one. But I missed a big chance at the end of that Luton game, and that annoys me like 100 years later.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was all about John Hendry that day. Sorry, Jan.
It was about John Hendry and the photo of you, of course. That's what all of it was.
There were worse ones than that, but that was one of them. It was the fashion back then, I swear. Okay.
All right. It's coming back, you know. It's coming back.
I will not be getting that one. Ian Dark, have Arsenal reached their peak under Arteta?
Oh, good question.
They better hope not. They possibly have, but they've been second 2 years running. They're not going to win it this year again. There are murmurings, but I think he's taken the club in a pretty good direction. They're just not as good every year as the team above them, and this time it's Liverpool. And we all thought it'd be City again, but they needed to go out, didn't they, in January and get a striker. I don't think they won the title if they'd done that, but I think they'd have been doing a little bit better than they have been.
Do you have any thoughts on that question, Mario?
No, I totally agree. You understand? They waited too long. You understand? I don't think its time is up. Why? Because I don't think the club is moving backwards so far, but there definitely has to be some tweaking going on. Because look, sometimes when you watch games, right, you're in control, you pass, but sometimes I also want to see, way more direct penetration, and sometimes it takes too long, and that's why you need sometimes a striker that only thinks about that. He does not think about being cute, playing it nice. No, he only thinks about, I want to score goals. And I think that is one of the things that he has to go after. I think and I hope he went after it in the winter time, January, and it didn't happen. So hopefully in the summer he brings something to the fans, because if not, they started to question certain things, and I don't want him to be questioned because I think his job is not done yet, and I think definitely he's moving them forward. I don't think he's moving them backwards.
I managed Kay on Sunday to interview Arteta just after he left a colleague's interview talking about the championship. I didn't know about that. I just knew about it when I was sitting in a taxi, because I asked him more or less the same question. But I guess as a Norwegian, I'm a bit more eloquent when I do the questions, so he kept staying there. But I must say, and I follow Arsenal very closely, and I follow Martin Ødegaard, our Norwegian friend, of course. I think it's unbelievable that a professional club as Arsenal, with all their kind of quality way of doing every department, that they can't think of the idea that they need a striker. And to make it worse, 3 days before the closing of the transfer window, finally they come up with the idea that you should go for Ollie Watkins just after they sold Durant to the Saudis. I can't believe on the level that Arsenal see their club that they could play on that level in terms of recruitment.
So Jan Agerfjordhoff, let me get your thoughts on Manchester City then, because the next question says, for Jan, what are your thoughts on recent comments made by some of your fellow pundits, such as it'd be easier for City to move on the manager, and I don't see them making that jump no matter who they sign to being back up there. Is this desperation to see City fail?
Well, that is famous last words. When Pep Guardiola is your manager, he got more titles than every pundit. Yeah, well, there's some pundits that have some trophies. I'm just jealous. But no, I don't think so. I think that there is a lot of... We try to explain the biggest surprise of this Premier League is not Nottingham Forest, it's the form of Manchester City this season. I think there is a lot of things going into recruitment, going into the hunger to go there, the preparations after last season. When did they get starting again? So if I were going to pick my favourites for the Premier League trophy next year, I will absolutely put Manchester City. They're very close to Liverpool, who will now win the Premier League. To move on the manager, well, be careful what you wish for, Manchester City fans and pundits as well.
Yeah,
so I think that is wishful thinking.
OK, Shaka. So Jim Ratcliffe told Gary Neville in a recent interview that the club would have run out of money in November, and some of the recent cuts and changes have been to balance the finances. But as one of the biggest clubs in the world, shouldn't this have been avoided?
Yes, is a short answer to that question. Listen, I saw those quotes, and while I struggle to understand football financing at the best of times, how Manchester United find themselves in these dire straits is simply beyond me, especially kind of given some of their spend. They haven't spent as they normally do, or maybe as you would expect or needed to remain competitive. So how does Manchester United, who have maybe the second biggest commercial machine in world football after Real Madrid, certainly the top 5, how they run out of cash is simply beyond me. And again, I think that just speaks to the ownership. So Jim Ratcliffe only just arrived in relative terms, so you know exactly who I'm pointing the finger at. The Glazers, and they have come into a whole lot of criticism during the entirety of their tenure, and that statement just sums it up.
Yeah, you can understand the fans' frustration.
Okay, if I may say, because I think there was a word play, is that what it's called in English? Because when you analyze the Manchester United, Shaka said is dire straits. You remember their biggest hits? Money for nothing. And I think that sums up Manchester United.
You're giving me far too, but I'm not that smart, Jan.
Okay.
I'm not that smart.
I help you, my friend.
You need nothing in your chicks for free. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
Ian Doug, do you have any thoughts on that question from Manchester Drake?
Well, their version of it is the club have been losing money for the last 5 years. The operation needs to be leaner and more streamlined. So what do? Make 450 people redundant and stop the staff having picnic lunches. So while players are getting £300,000 a week, it's just calamitous PR what's been going on at United. And of course, it's all reflected on what you see on the pitch, which most weeks has been beyond ordinary. I mean, it's just a long job. And I do feel sorry, really, for Ruben Amorim, because they need a lot to make it different.
Jan Agerfjordhoff, lots of questions for you tonight. Do you think this could be Harry Kane's final season at Bayern Munich? There's been speculation about his buyout clause, and with a certain London club in need of a striker, could a return to the Premier League be on the cards?
Wait. Which London club are we talking about here? Which London club are we talking about here?
So this is really a question about should Harry Kane go to Arsenal? I mean, that is the question. You know, I haven't spoken to Harry Kane about this, but we tried to get the reports out of Bayern Munich, and he seems like a very intelligent person with a with a good plan for his future. He takes his whole his family, going to Munich, and I don't think he will stop now. He will win his first title now. He will get a Bundesliga trophy, still in there for the Champions League, and I can't see him. I mean, could I see that happen in another universe, that he will play for Arsenal and thinking, wow, I could maybe make them to win the Premier League? Yes, but I can never see that an intelligent Tottenham legend will go to Arsenal. I can't see that. I'm sorry. I mean, I will not say that I know Harry Kane that close that I will understand all his analysis, but I can never see that. That's the same for UK to go back to make the same photos in a Newcastle shirt.
Yeah, but could he make the excuse that he did actually start out there as a kid?
I suppose.
No.
Okay. Right, okay. Mario, should Maresca bench Palmer?
Oh boy.
Oh, no,
They're not going to finish top 5. Remember,
It was already a big surprise for him to take him off.
Mario, remember you said that Chelsea wouldn't finish in top 5. Remember you said that Chelsea weren't going to finish top 5. You said
Mario.
that.
I didn't say that. I said they were. Don't even try to test me there. Don't try to test me there. Hey.
Almost done.
Okay, look, you see? Hey, listen. Yeah, you know why? You know that pool was too deep, man. I tried to get up. Okay. No, but Maresca is not gonna do that. Why? Because I feel like, look, we all have players and they have up and downs. We all been in our careers where we had up and downs and been tested. So I think it's too early to question that. Why would you do that? When the team wasn't performing, Palmer was clearly helping them. Now that he is in the little difficulty, he missed a penalty over the weekend. I could see him still being in it before he took him off, because I could see him still thinking and lingering about him missing that penalty. But hey, it doesn't happen in your professional career. I think it happened to him in his youth career that he missed a penalty, but it doesn't matter. I mean, this kid is learning, and we have to be honest too, he's a young boy in a big situation, and he's been doing really well in that situation. So now, I don't think Maresca should do that, because it's clearly not going to help the team. You just need to think about how many players are scoring for my team, and that is the question Maresca should ask all the individuals playing forward for him, because not everybody's scoring goals, and he needs to put that pressure on them.
I love that everybody thinks that Jan Fjørtoft is the authority now on Manchester City. Jan, why is Marmoush not playing regularly? Is Pep okay?
I even saw today that Gareth Taylor, the manager of the women's team of Manchester City, was fired. And I saw that someone said, well, they should fire Pep as well. Hello? What's going on? I mean, Marmoush came. I think that is a fantastic signing for them. But we also know that it takes time to adjust. And also Pep, back in the days before Erling Haaland came, they said the first season was the hardest in Manchester City. And then Erling Haaland broke all kind of records. But it takes time to adjust. I think he will be a brilliant signing for them. And who is better to get them adjust into the team than Pep Guardiola?
Okay, so this is going to be the last question, but before I give it to you, Shaka, I just want to ask Ian Dark which he likes best. We've had West Ham against Newcastle, Ian, called the Shaxico by Frank Leboeuf. Also, Dan called it yesterday the Shaka Bowl. And now in this question, it says, Shaka, did you enjoy the Derby de Shaka today? Maybe we should say Derby de Shaka today. Which do you like best, Ian?
I love it. And that, the fans were talking about nothing else but that on their way to the ground tonight.
Did you enjoy it, Shaka?
It wasn't a great game of football. It wasn't a great game of football. So just as a pure spectacle, not really. Newcastle got what they needed. West Ham, no real danger, so it doesn't affect them. So I guess got the right result in that regard, but not a performance from either team to remember.
Okay, the Derby de Shaka.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, that's the last one. All right, thank you so much for sending in your questions, everybody. Sorry for my 90s perm at the top
No,
of the
no,
show.
it's coming back here.
No.
It's coming back.
It's coming
Let's
back.
hope not,
Don't
'cause
You
I
can
am
bring it. You can
definitely
bring it
not.
back. Well, what if you?
That is
What
not
if you just
happening.
make it the thing again?
Fortunately, I have a styling team.
Hey! Oh! Tune in next week.
Oh my God.
We're going to do a power rankings of Kay's perms
And a
next
cola
week.
can fringe, or bangs as they call it. Anyway,
How long did it
that's
take to make that hair, Kay? How long did it take to kind of get
One
that
hurricane.
fluffy?
It took one hurricane.
A long time diffusing it in the morning. I don't think it moved either. Anyway, let's move. Let's get out of the show now. We don't want that.
Can we have it again?
Do
Can
not
we have
put
it
on
again
the-
just before I go to bed?
Put it on the
Can I
extra
just go?
time panel.
Hey!
There's a yellow top.
boy.
Prime 95.
Oh, boy.